Hey, what's up? I know this video is probably unusual, and you probably saying, why the hell he doing this outside? Because it's peaceful, it's outside, it's nighttime, it's a nice night. Um, but basically, this is just to talk about, the incident that happened in Fort Riley. And first off, I want to say this is not a military channel anymore. I'm not trying to make military videos or nothing like that. For those who probably do want content or something, I probably will make a separate channel for that if I decide in the future I want to do military content. This is just to talk about my experience at Fort Riley, what happened, because believe it or not, it is people who still asking the same questions, who still want to know what happened, and I'm tired of explaining the story. I felt like I told this 30 times. Other people want these media sources, so I'm here to just give y'all some of the scoop in YouTube. But basically, a lot of y'all probably knew I was in the military. I did it for like 4 years so far. Y'all know I was in Fort Sill for basic training. Y'all know for AIT, I went to Fort Lee and all that shit, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, I ended up in Fort Riley. How could that be possible? Well, in the Army, you don't decide where the fuck you go. They gonna place you where they gonna place you. Like, some of y'all might be lucky who came from Fort Jackson and probably had to, stay in your same neighborhood or, went someplace closer. I didn't have that luxury. I went to 2 shitty places. Fort Sill was good. I had a good time, but that's still a bad area. That's like one of the bad basic training spots. Secondly, Fort Lee, Virginia, y'all saw the video of me and my boy Malik. We did that video years ago when I was a young jit, when I had a bald head, fucked up head. My head now is grown back. Still messed up, but we working it. But the fact of the matter is, I'm telling my story, and before we actually get into full detail, for those of y'all who gonna come into the comment section and be like, man, he just didn't follow the rules, typical black guy in the Army, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Your comment will not be approved. If you start with that shit, your comment won't be approved. You're a dummy. Not everybody has the same experience. Not everybody's gonna go do the same thing. And mind you, in the terms, yeah, I'm going through a legal battle with the Army, so certain things I am not gonna say. But basically, I was in Fort Riley for about 4 years. I started in 116th. That was the infantry battalion in Seacoast. Didn't have issues there, but it's like I told y'all from the prior videos. Like, when I first arrived to Seacoast, I kind of put a bad rep on my name. Yeah, I still did my job. I was a 92 Alpha. Logistics, that means you work at the warehouse, you work at the SSA, things like that. In the terms of doing that, we had a deployment. We had to go to Greece. In Greece, everything is good, man. I'm usually not a drinker, bro. I want people to know that. I don't drink, but yeah. Some of my own boys like, yo, more, come and get a drink, bro. Like, so yeah, I'm drinking. And of course, when you were overseas, they don't give a fuck. Those people are poor. They're gonna keep charging your card. Like, I remember the next day I woke up, my card was charged $217, bro, off of drinks. Bro, I drunk 17 drinks back to back like a dummy because out of not even peer pressure. It was something I wanted to do. I'm not gonna blame it on somebody else. I wanted to drink. Look where it had got me, man. I made myself a fool in front of the battalion, but it was funny because it was like, oh, more is funny though. So they saw it as a joke. It's the same way y'all do when I'm on Twitch, right? If I say something serious, y'all see it as a joke. Kind of same instance when I was drinking, but past that, I go past the drinking phase and I'm just doing work. I'm constantly working in Greece. Going back to Bulgaria, we doing a rotation. Basically what happened is that this sergeant, he kind of didn't really know me that well. You know what I mean? His name was Sergeant Holloway. And Sergeant Holloway was like, before he introduced, he was like, more, I know you. You that soldier who got drunk off duty and, you made yourself an embarrassment to the company. Bad impression, he didn't even know me, whatever, right? We didn't have beef because you can't have beef with your sergeant, but he kind of just judged me a lot. And I'm only looking to the side because I'm like right next to the woods, bro. You know what the fuck gonna pop out. I don't play that shit. But yeah, he kind of just judged me. He didn't even get to know me. A female, she trained me to the best of her abilities, Bellamy. Still did my job, showed up for formation, everything. He just didn't like me. He favored Bellamy, the person who was training me, working under me. As soon as she left, because she was ETSing or PCSing, going to another duty station, I was his next target of like, oh, you gonna do this for me? Things Bellamy got away with, I couldn't get away with. And that's how it kind of started off. And me, I'm the type of soldier is like, yes, I will respect you. I'm going to salute you. I'm going to do the actions and do what the Army told me to do. But there is a but. And I want all soldiers to know this. Just because you put on a uniform does not mean that you can stand up for yourself. You have a right to. In a respectful way, of course, but you have a right to stand up for yourself, be respectful, and yes, you still do have rights. Just because you put on a uniform don't mean you throw out all your rights. That is not the truth. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person who can make a choice for yourself. You know? So it's just basically, I told Sergeant Holloway, and this is kind of where it got heck. I said, Sergeant Holloway, I kind of don't like the way how you've been treating me since Bellamy left. You know, I felt like you kind of taking advantage. He didn't like what I told him. Of course, he was angry. So at the time, it was manipulating. During this time, too, I think I was on crutches because I did hurt my leg. I told the sergeant, I was like, hey, you know, this time, you know, I didn't have a whip because, yo, coming from New York and then you going to L.A., I didn't need a car, bro. I had homies. I was just doing auditions and short films and stuff. People was getting me around in the towns, right? I didn't buy my whip yet. So when that happened, you know, I had told him this message at like 5:45. I was like, Sergeant, can I get a ride? No response. Usually the sergeants are up before they soldiers, or they're supposed to be. You know, he's right here on base. He's like 10 minutes, and I was staying in the barracks too. This dude didn't text me. He was like 6:05. He was like, well, you better fucking get here. Mind you, I'm on crutches. The place we form up is probably like 2 miles down just walking. So if you know where Fort Riley is and you know where the Devil Diner is to form up at 116th, you know what I'm talking about, bro. So he was kind of evil, and he kind of used that. He was like, well, you didn't fucking show up to formation. Oh, more, I'm getting tired of you. So he gave, you know, he tried to get some counseling. Of course, I fought it. But in the meantime, I fought it. He was like, oh, no, I can't deal with this soldier. But luckily, before we even got into a legal process, they put all the clerks back together. And then, you know, they had an occasion to do that. With the 92 Alphas, they'll put us together, split us up, put us together, split us up, because they don't want you just working for one company. No, they want you working for the whole battalion or the whole unit. It was dumb. I was exhausted. Throughout the time in 116th, I never explained this stories, not even to my homeboy. So my homeboy, like JR, crashed out, and other people who's watching, yeah, I'm going to come out and say it. Like, bro, I was molested in 116th in the shower, bro. Like, after a field exercise. And I'm not trying to be funny. This is not being made up. That's why I said it's a whole legal battle. So, yeah, it is a lot of stuff that's bothering me up here just because of the things that I have went through. And when I mean I was touched, you know, just coming back from that time from the field, it was a lot of changes. There was a lot of leaders that I had. They were PCSing. They did their time in the Army. They said they don't want to stay in Fort Riley. And if you read about Fort Riley, a lot of people do not like this duty station. Not just because it's the job, you know, it's just the area itself. Fort Riley has a big suicidal rate. I'm not even joking. I'm not trying to be funny. But that place, a lot of soldiers don't like it. Especially a lot of soldiers of color has had multiple instances and issues at Fort Riley. Continuing with that, it was just about, this is what I would just say, last year in August. It was one of these sergeants, he or she, they were new, but it is a he. They were new, and they were like, you know, we just came from the field, and they was like, hey, Moore, you know, you just a good-looking guy. In the shower, and I don't want this to be rude, he touched me just like this, saying, oh, you just a nice guy. Shit, I'm just messing with you, man. When I literally told you, like, I shut down and just was like, all right, first of all, you put your hands on me. I'm from New York, bro. Like, do you see how, like, if somebody just came and put their hands on you and was like, oh, yeah. And my fault, too. The camera just died. But just continuing, like, that wasn't even the first instance of, like, an NCO putting their hands on you. And, you know, they not supposed to do that anyway, but I know a lot of y'all saying, man, why you ain't hit them back? Why didn't you report it? Bro, I did all of that already. Most cases when it comes to NCO nowadays, especially with minority soldiers, believe it or not. I know people gonna say that's out of date. It's not just minorities. Yes, it is. When I reported that these NCOs put their hands on me, reported it to the police, try to do the right soldier things or the right proper things, you know what I'm saying? And people gonna label it as a snitch. It's swept under the rug. Oh no, your leadership, they gonna deal with it. They absolutely did nothing because they in that position. And also too, when I came in the military, man, I was already judged. I'm thugged out. I look like I belong on the block. A lot of things. A lot of these sergeants didn't even know I did acting. Oh, I thought you played basketball. So you see some type of stereotypes, but I get why it's common, you know. But the reason why they really didn't like me is because I was one of those soldiers who would stand up for myself. Yeah, I'm going to respect you, but when you start to do stupid shit, I'm going to have to call you. But, oh, no, when you do it, or if I raise my voice a certain way to other people, oh, we're in fear of our life. Oh, my God, he attacked us. But continuing back with 116, because I'm going off topic. The reason why I transferred from 116th, and, you know, a lot of people said, it's not because of like your work too, because a lot of people of 116th, if you remember and you watching this video, you saw me on the forklift every single day, son. On the forklift every single day. Nobody could deny it. I was in and out at the SSA all the time, you know. The only bad thing about 116th, it was a lot of changes in my job every time, and especially in the military, you're going to see constant changes. People who's coming in changing the rules, thinking that they don't know, but they don't know shit. And then, you know, it's a shame. It could be people in a position for so long, right? You'll be in a position for so long, you'll know all the knowledge, but then just because that person went to college or they know a little bit of shit, oh yeah, they replace you. Not saying this in my case, but that's how it was. Like, people would just come and start to switch shit up. And that's what was kind of fucking everything up. Did certain shit go good some days? Sometimes. You know what I mean? But, it still was just a thing of just confusion, and it's every day. Imagine just taking on that stress of like, yo, I can't do anything. But like I said, continuing on, the reason why I left 116th is because we had this sergeant too, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this dude problem was. I'm not sure if he was gay. They say he came from Korea. I don't really care. At first he was cool, and then later on he showed his true colors. Like, bro, you ain't want to work. And a lot of times, too, he would throw that sergeant. Oh, I'm a sergeant. I'm a sergeant. I'm a sergeant. I do what I want. And that's the common case in the military today. A lot of people don't know that when these people have this rank on their chest, they come from specialist or corporal, and then they change their whole fucking way. I didn't know this guy, but he claimed because he was a sergeant, he could just start making all the fucking rules. But basically, you know, it was a situation. He was mad because I was supposed to go to the board. During the board, you know, I had a panic attack. I kind of passed out. He was mad, saying, man, I really wanted you to go. Like, he didn't really care about my health. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, I'm looking, like I told y'all, I'm in the woods. I gotta, you know, look. But, you know, he was mad with that. So he sat me down and he tried to counsel me, saying, hey, you know, I really don't like your work ethic lately. Your work has been lackluster. I stopped him right there. Everybody in 116 can't say that, yo, Moore didn't get on the forklift and I didn't do nothing. He was capping. This dude was new. He was only there for 2 months. He didn't know shit about me, just like a lot of people. They don't know shit about you. They just like to judge or hear what somebody else is telling them. I cut him off. I said, well, Sergeant, I'm going to just say it, Sergeant Boudreaux. I say, you've been here for a little minute, right? Technically, I've done more work than you have. I said the other soldiers are afraid to talk to you because you have the rank of sergeant on your chest, right? You have been lackluster, and the reason why I'm stating that is because you didn't know that you had your location on plenty of times. You had your location on 2 times to your home address, so you was at work the whole time when you claim you was at an appointment. Usually with me, if I'm at an appointment, I got to show an appointment slip like Blue's Clues. I got to be babysit. He was so in shock, he opened his mouth like, hey, Moore, I'm not finished talking to you. I got up and said, hey, Sergeant, I'm going to finish loading this up for the SSA because we had turn-ins. This sergeant, and this is this is the 3rd time. I'll get into the 3rd portion, but this is the 2nd time we just going to say, right? We go, right? I told him I'm about to just continue my job. He said, hey, Moore, I'm talking to you. I tried to get on the forklift. He said like this. I said out my mouth and I said, yo, don't fucking touch me, man. I'm tired of y'all putting your hands on me. I said, yo, this is another time. He's like, hey, I'm not touching. I'm just trying to tell you. I said, you're not telling me shit. Usually when somebody is hot-tempered, you're not calming them down. It's common sense, bro. Don't touch me. I don't want to be touched, bro. That whole shower situation, that kind of turned me off. I don't want nobody touching me or nothing, bro. If you're not a woman, don't touch me. Period. Like, you know, so that situation happened. I called the MPs. You know what happened? Nothing. And guess who got separated? I'm talking about, to go to a different company, me. Because I was claimed, I was ghetto, thugged out, but they didn't know the situation. They said, just to avoid, because he's a sergeant, you have to move. The military does this all the time. But it was a third instance too. It's not really a big deal. I'm just going to add this. I'm going to add it towards the end of the video. So the video is going to be longer. So I do apologize for that. But it was just a guy. He was off duty in his civilian attire. He was sounding stupid. A situation was already situated with one of my first sergeants. He intervened just because he wanted to be an asshole. And I caught him before I could catch him on video. He put his hands on me too, trying to leave to go to the hospital. I'll leave the video. I have to actually go find it, but I will leave it in there. But it's just basically, I was tired of people putting their hands on me, bro. The same thing too. 1-4, going to 1-4 in the beginning, it was all good. Then I had this sergeant. Oh my God, this dude is like, he looks like the fucking rat from Flushed Away. He sounds like, well, you're in 1-4 now. I'm the boss. I kind of make the rules. His name was Sergeant Rabito. He's a fucking geek. All right, I'll just put it out there like that. My biggest issue with him is just that, bro, you were doing too much. He would always say things like, I'm new to the unit, right? But as soon as he come, he said, I know you're new, but Sergeant Smalley said, I have to go make the right decisions. If you come 1 minute late, I'm going to counsel you for it. I didn't tell you where to form up. You're supposed to know that already. You didn't ask questions. I didn't really like this guy. I thought he was kind of retarded. I'm just being honest, like, bro, who gave you a sergeant? Like, I'm not saying he didn't earn it, but he's really in love with his job. I'll just say that. But it was an instance, too. I don't really want to get into this guy, Sergeant Rabito, too much. But it was an instance where I told my first sergeant, I told y'all I'm in the woods. I don't play that shit, bro. I hear something. But it was an issue with my first sergeant. I told him that, I'm kind of going to be here at this time because, mind you, I had to go put a staff duty. This was like the night before. So one of his other corporals under him told him, you'll be here no later than 6:20, right? 6:20. You're supposed to be 10 minutes prior towards the formation anyway. So he sent that text out the day I go in to this formation, bro. I come in at 6:20. Right, this sergeant, he comes out the blue. He said, hey, why you showing up late? I said, Sergeant, what are you talking about? I said be here no later than 6:10. I said be here no later than 6:10. I said, Sergeant, where did you say that at? Right? He said, well, ex Augustine, ex Ramirez, I said be here no later than 6:10. You came here at 6:20. I said, Sergeant, here goes, I show him the text message. It says 6:20. I'm here. I'm 10 minutes prior to the formation. I didn't get your text message, but if you're going to counsel me for it or smoke me, I'm with it. It's too early. It's no reason to go back and forth. The proof is right there. Hey, you can't tell me what to do. Go ahead and knock out 10. Mind you, too, I'm already boxing at this time. I'm already in shape. So I knock out 10 like easy. He said, you did that too quickly. Go knock out 10 more. Right? Knock out 10 more. I said, I did say something on my bro. I said, bro, you're ridiculous. He said, you got a problem, boy? You want to talk about it? The commander comes in, he talks. Right? So I'm ignoring. He said, oh, don't worry about it, boy. I gotcha. Right? So the day goes on, blah, blah, blah. Still doing my job upstairs. Now, mind you, this is getting to lunchtime. And, bro, I'm being honest with you. In Fort Riley, if you trying to get lunch at 11:40, it's not happening. Fort Riley is jam-packed. They will put all these soldiers overpopulated. bro, it's not even a lot of food courts, bro. Everybody's gonna get the same food, right? The same popular area. So this was the time when I was doing files. So I stayed a little bit later at the lunch to finish my work. This sergeant was so tight that I came at 6:20, a time that his corporal put out and told me to be there. He gave him instructions. He had the text message, right? So that happened. He said, "Moore, hey, before you go to lunch, I need to come and see you. I have a counseling," right? I said, "Well, Sergeant Rabito, I'm just going to sign this counseling and go," right? I put no that I disagree. There's no reason why, because the first sergeant already dealt with it, and he told me he was going to talk to him. He said, "No, don't walk out. I have to go read the whole counseling to you. Why you came late. You know, this is a serious infraction." I said, "Sergeant Rabito," I said, "with all due respect, Sergeant, I went to parade rest. Parade rest is you just putting your hands behind your back. I did that for him." I said, "Sergeant Rabito, you're not getting lunch. I'm going to get lunch. I'm hungry. I have not eaten all morning." He said, I don't care. Yeah, you're going to get counseling. You're kind of disobeying a direct order. I could go call the MPs on you." I was looking like, yeah, I'm out of here, bro. He said, "Don't walk out that door." So basically, it's intensifying because he is trying to stop me, right? He's trying to stop me from leaving out the door, right? I said, "You know what, man, I don't have time." I tried to, move. He's following my movements. Another white sergeant said, "Hey, do you need me to be here for this?" He said, "Yes, please." I said, "I don't know what y'all trying to do, but let me walk out the door." Try to go out the door. He jumps in front of me with his hand like this and say, "Hey." I said like this. Yo, I yelled at him. "Yo, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking put your hands on me, yo. You bugged the fuck out, yo." Me being from New York, you hear the energy that I'm giving off? That's how I sounded. That's exactly what I said. He was backing up like, "Bro, I wasn't going to hit him. I'm just doing that to set a boundary, bro. Get away from me. Why are you blocking me away from the door from going to eat, my guy?" That's exactly what he was doing. He was like, "Oh, no. Minutes later, after I eat my lunch, man, I can't even finish my damn cheese sandwich. God damn." Like, come on, bro. Like, I can't even finish my cheesesteak sandwich. Like, the first song was like, "Mo, it was an issue with Sergeant Rabito. I just need you to come here real quick because a commander want to speak to you." This commander, mind you, well, we about to get deep into the story. This guy's full of shit. Straight up, he's full of shit. Like, I have nothing else to say about this dude. This dude, right off the bat, "Moore, it's come to my attention that you've threatened and you hit Sergeant Rabito. That definitely does not go in our policy, and I am sending an MPO against you, against Sergeant Rabito. The next time, I will take different actions against you." Without even asking what happened, right? My first sergeant kind of filled him in with what happened, but because I'm this, he didn't care. Sergeant Rabito's white. He probably used that saying, and this saying is going to come up a lot. He made him in fear of our life, right? Typical tall black boxer guy, right? Claim this guy said he's a martial arts champion, Anthony Sergeant Rabito, or whatever, right? So I asked the commander, I said, "So, sir, you do know he put his hands on me, right?" He said, "Well, Moore, he might have put his hands on you, but you can't say don't fucking touch me or threaten an NCO. I said, "I didn't threaten him. If saying don't fucking touch me is a threat, that's clearly setting a boundary. What the fuck is that bullshit?" Like, he didn't care. The MPO was set in place for about 3 months. And it was kind of a good thing because at that time I got to kick it with my boy Sgt R Crashed Out. Y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. But me and him was working, kind of going through the same shit, trying to like leave the army shit at the time because we saw that the army, it wasn't for us. We could have made more money out the shit. I see it more now. You know, at the SSA, every day we would stay too. The unit was full of crap. And I'm going to tell you what the unit has done, right? This commander used to say all these bad things. He didn't even know who I was. I was new to the unit. The only person that this commander cared about was his mechanics and the fucking cooks. He didn't give a fuck about how me and my boy JR Crashed Out was at the fucking SSA building sometimes till like late 6:30, 7 o'clock. I was missing boxing practice. My coach, and you know how embarrassing it is to like tell your coach, "Hey, bro, you know, today's sparring day, But, you know, I had to go work at the Army. It's like I'm using the Army, bro, to lie. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like, yo, I was a punk. Like, yo, you just avoiding sparring, bro. That's what, like, I was thinking in my head. It wasn't like that. Of course, I got people at the gym who used to be like, bro, we get it. But it's at the same time, you taking away something that is supposed to help me. Also, they told me to fix the anger problem. I tried to get help with it plenty of times, right, to go to the boxing gym. A commander signed off on that. I showed him. He didn't give a fuck. Right now, you're still gonna work. These dudes was off 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. As soon as they did their job, he didn't call and check on us and say, you guys are released for the day. He still worked us. This dude called, this dude, I'm gonna say his name, and I don't like this guy, bro. I'm gonna say it in this video, man. I wish I could smack the fuck out you. I don't like your ass, boy. I really don't like you, bro. You know what you did, bro. You foul. I really wish I could smack you, boy. Like, this dude, Dylan R. Not, right? This dude, apparently, he called me one time. It was a thunderstorm in Kansas. The weather, it always mixes up. This dude, he called me. He was like, hey, Moore, I really need you to go to the SSA and go get me this generator. It is worth about $75 million. Everybody at the motor pool is gone. My NCOs is gone, right? It's only me and my homie JR, of course, right? He called me to go get an MRO, soaking wet. Thank you. Mind you, at this time, he already put in this packet. He flagged me because, and this is the next situation I'm going to get into. So, the unit, right, mind you, at this time, I'm flagged. And the reason why I'm flagged in the unit is because it was an off-post situation after NTC. After NTC, I get back because I had a ticket in January over some bullshit. I kind of just went over some cones, and I didn't know that it was a stop sign there, and I tried to reverse, got a ticket, argued with the cop, went and paid the ticket, but I still tried to go in court and fight it. Basically, the court staff was very rude and belligerent, so I tried to match the energy out of uniform, right? It has nothing to do with the military. I don't show military ID when I'm off post. I don't, right? I showed him this, right? A lady, and this, mind you, I'm talking to the teller at the court, not inside the courtroom, because if you yell inside the courtroom to any judge, you going straight to jail, bro. I'm not dumb, right? So this lady, she says, here goes your next court date. Like, very rude, so I'm already hot just because, like, yo, I gotta pay the ticket, but you just threw a piece of paper at me. So I literally said, and mind you too, before what I am about to say, I did not mean this at the time. What I did say was harsh, but it's like I said, I did take it back. I said, fuck you and anybody attached to you. That's what I said out of my mouth, right? I didn't mean to say that. And after a while, it's like I calmed down because I said, that's not really who I am. That's truly not me. You know, kind of wrote it on a sheet. There was like on a sheet it said, hey, what's your problem? I wanted to talk to the manager. Whoop the whoop. Hey, what's your problem? What's the real problem that you got? I said, you guys are the problem. All y'all want is money. Y'all really didn't ask, like, what happened to the whole deal? Because in the court, bro, they gave all them white people diversions. And I'm not mad that the lady didn't give me a diversion. Why is your staff being this rude just to give me a piece of paper on a court date? So, yeah, I said that. And when I said that, I guess the way how I said, fuck, because I didn't yell it out. I just said, you know what, fuck you or anybody attached to you. I guess because I emphasized it. Of course, black guy, boxer guy, army guy, tall guy, 6'2" guy, right? Look kind of gangsterish, I guess, right? These dudes kind of double back when my boy, you know, Stanley Prophet came, and they said, oh, he made us in fear of our life. He endangered our family. They called Fort Riley up. Fort Riley had a good day with that. They was like, we're going to flag him, right? So they flagged me, right? And I'm like, you know, y'all didn't even know the situation. You just jumped straight. Like, the army would really support the civilians more than their soldiers. I want anybody to know this. If you are going into the military, know that they're gonna, yeah, your job is to protect civilians. But let's say if a soldier has a problem, they don't give a fuck about you. It could be something minor. They don't give a fuck about you. I'm just keeping it G, right? So that happened. But before I even go back on post, I'm not doing this to get out of a trouble, but I said I did apologize just because of my character. Like, sometimes, yeah, I have a Barney heart, But most people, they see the hawk. If you get what I'm trying to say, just compare the two. Like, I'm trying to be nice all the time, but sometimes some people, they try to kill my niceness, and they just gonna see the incredible hawk side when I turn up. And of course, I guess when it turns up, it makes people scared, and I'm not trying to do that. So I apologize and say, you know, I do apologize to the court staff. I just didn't like how the way they treated. They kind of like played me and said, okay, Warren, you know, we deal with soldiers like this all the time, blah, blah, blah. Minutes, man, I go by. More. The Sergeant Major wants to see you, right? About your court date. That's his First Sergeant Spence. They want to see you about your court date. I said, well, how the hell that shit get on post? Post? This shit got on post? I was like, how I got on post? Right? So the story is somebody, one of those security officers who works at the court, he's the one who reported, oh yeah, I think you have the soldier. Do you guys know the soldier? The MPs, they didn't know me, but of course their job is to report. So everything they hear, it went right up to the unit. Instead of just squashing it because the ticket is paid, I'm like, am I being played? Like, they just said, nah, we're thinking about jumping straight to separation. You're jumping to straight separation because I cursed out a desk clerk and paid a ticket. Mind you, now I'm in 1-4. It is no counselings. It's no, I never had any UCMJ, no rank taken. And before actually even all this, right before this even began, I apologize for the court situation. The Sergeant Major, he kind of, you know, yelled and screamed and all that. I said, you know what, let me try to go get help with the anger problem. Mind you, I went to Fort Riley 4th floor. If you know, you know. The 4th floor, it's kind of like the crazy house. It's not, there's some cool people up there. They kind of love my energy, how I was doing things, playing cards, whatever. Right? Before I could even get help with the anger problem, no, separate them. They had no good reasoning, no UCMJ, no counselings, no nothing. It's because it's just more. So, what I believe, and you will see it later, this is kind of racial target, right? They already said I was thugged out. So listen to key points in this video. He's thugged out. He's this, he's that. It's just because I'm one of those strong soldiers. And mind you, in NTC, we're going to backtrack. NTC, I had a group. JR crashed out, the one I mentioned. He was in this shit. My boy Tobler. We're all from, like, you know, our own cities. Right, where the hell that is? Oh, okay. But you know, we all just are strong soldiers. Like, you tell us to do something, but we're not going to go be a dog and cat to you. No, we're going to respect you, but stop with the dumb nonsense, because we're not going to do that. So, you know, why they were just telling me all this stuff and saying, oh, no, it's more. Instead of me getting help with the anger problem and trying to do better, separate them, right? I'm doing everything. They told me the commander told me some bullshit too. And this is where I kind of got him, and this is why I got a court case. So mind you, I'm just in this whole process, and I'm like, why am I in the process of just being separated? Bro, I really didn't do anything, right? So this guy, he says, more, I promise, if you can get through your flag period. Mind you, my flag period was almost done. I will suspend the separation packet, and you can just finish your contract. I'm doing everything I have to do, still going to work, still doing what I got to do, not complaining, not getting in trouble, not nothing. One day, you know, I just wasn't talking. Wasn't saying nothing. The military has a big problem. Hey, Moore, you're acting very different lately. You're not speaking. I said, sir, I just don't feel like talking. I'm already going through these hoops that you're telling me to go through. Phase 1, phase 2 is kind of ridiculous. I know more. It's a process. Shouldn't have to go through this stupid process for a court thing. But whatever, right? I'm getting stressed out more as the days goes on because they're doing dumb things. Things that I won't disclose. Things that they're saying out of their mouth. Racial things that they are doing. It's a lot of things that 1-4 has been getting away with it. And me, I've been holding it in because if I lash out, you're going to Kansas, Leavenworth, prison. That's exactly what they want, though. So I'm holding it in, you know, one time, and then I'm doing good. As I'm doing good, they would play these mind games like, hey, pack your bags. We're going to Poland. Pack my bags. I'm doing back and forth. About to sell my house. Right? About to sell my house. I'm like, okay, bro. So if I do this and I sign this for this lease, more, we have to get prepared. We're going to Poland. I signed my lease over thinking that, yo, I'm going to be gone this date. Man. So we continuing, bro. I'm already stressed. Somebody got me into some nonsense. The captain, because I wasn't talking, this dude said, I'm hearing a knock at the door like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Moore, this is the Junction City Police. Oh, Captain Arnott said he wants you on post. 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, what he wants me on post for at 3 in the morning? A welfare check. This dude has done about 20 welfare checks, bro, for nothing because I don't talk, because they are trying to target me. They want me to lash out. That is what they want. Exactly. They want me to do something to them. Why? I don't know. They don't like me. It's something. We just gonna put it, they don't like me, okay? I go with them. I'm not in handcuffs. I go do their welfare check. I'm like, bro, all I'm trying to do at this point is just finish my contract. I don't care what happens. I think the day after this, they asked for another dumb reason. Something that happened is really bad. I can't just say it because this is a part of the court case. But basically, I passed out in the middle of the street where cars are coming from stress, right? After coming from the police department. I passed out from stress. Quote unquote, they said that my commander and first sergeant was there, right? The nurse diagnosed me with stress. And what the captain did not tell me throughout this whole deal, you had short-term memory loss. The only thing I could remember from that situation, he said, Moore, what do I have to do to get the stress off? What can I do? Like he said, because I'm scared, I have a career on the line, I don't know what to do. I said, sir, I'm just trying to finish my contract and go on with my day. You guys are asking me to do excruciating things, day-to-day basis. I am a soldier, but I feel like you're overdoing it and you're abusing me. So I said, I just want to finish and, you know, just do my contract. Well, I don't think that's going to happen per se, but we'll see what we can do. So he kind of knew that I was stressed. And even then, the therapist was like, hey, I just think that we need to stop, like, because I'm continuing to do the work. My sergeant is saying, yo, Moore is doing everything he could do. He's doing the job. He's doing the task that you asked him to. Even the commander's calling me to do all this BS nonsense. See, it's the stuff that they want, they will call you for. They don't call you when you pass the PT test. They don't call you when you get a 29 or 36 out of 40 at the range. It don't matter, bro. Right? But as soon as you do the littlest thing, and mind you, it's white soldiers who get DUIs, they having sex with other people's wives, husbands, blah, 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 etc., etc. I saw somebody who slapped a NCO, and he still got to say in. My boy JR saw somebody pull a gun to their wife and their kid's head. He went to Leavenworth for a week, and he's back in the formation. But because I cursed out a desk clerk, Moore, you can't be in the Army right now. So, when I passed out from this stress thing, my roommate saw all of it. And that's why I said it will be attached at the end of the video, so you can see. The captain took advantage of that, and he was like, let me bother Moore some more. Because when you have a packet, they can add more stuff. And since he know he didn't have anything, because he said, I went to 116th, you have no counselings. 140, you have no counseling. This is close. We're getting into like June. And it was one instant. Hey man, forget that, bro. We finishing this video on this whip. Just because, you know, my lighting died. I didn't really charge my equipment for my lighting. So we just finishing it. It ain't the first or last time you're going to see me in a whip. But trying to really just end this story. It's just a lot of bullshit that just went into, you know, this whole process of even while this began, this was really over just BS because y'all didn't like me. It wasn't because you cursed out something. You know how many sergeants go off post and do way worse and they be cursing out people? Oh, you still good. Bro, they had nothing on me. They was mad because, yo, he's a strong soldier. I don't know what to do. He's going to get his first counseling, but, oh, we can't get back. The civilians put in the packet, and here's the shocker. The commander and the sergeant major, they purposely attacked me and try to get falsified documents from the courts and people out, you know, even from the Junction City Police, which is fake, because the Junction City Police said, we really never had a problem with you. You know, they have had about 49 documents saying, I'm a danger to the community. I made them in fear of their lives. Man, I scared people, children. That's a lie again. Because in Junction City, not once, not twice, but about 3 times, I've donated out of my own money to get to charity. And charity is something that more likes to do. You know, I have a partnership with Mattel. I like to do things like that. I like to get to children. I like kids. You know, also, too, it's a video on YouTube of Sgt R gives to children at a children's hospital, sick children. That's my passion. So you trying to disrespect it and say, oh, I made children in fear of your life? Some of these people that I've seen actually came to those events with their kids when I was giving out toys during the winter time or Thanksgiving time. So it's capped. They know I did a lot of stuff, or even on the back end of all this, I'm so much of a bad guy. Usually it was a little worker. He used to work in the mailroom in the 7001 building. For people who know in Fort Riley, the 7001 building is the mailroom for 1-4 Squadron, people getting their mail. It was a kid getting bullied all the time. I'm not going to say his name just for his safety, but this kid was 110, soaking wet. You know, I came in and for an instance, it was a NCO, not an NCO, but I'm just going to say corporal. A corporal said, man, I'm so fucking tired of this kid. Why do they always put his retarded ass in the mailroom? I don't like people disrespecting, you know, some people's diagnosis, especially somebody who's loving and caring. I call him a kid because, yo, he is only like 20 years old. I told the corporal out of my mouth, I was like, you know, you're not going to disrespect him, bro. I said, yo, you're not going to disrespect him. I said, yo, don't give him no fucking mail, bro. I was like, yo, you got a problem, see me outside. I told the kid, I said, yo, if people keep coming to bother you, bro, come with me to the boxing gym. I would drive you on my days when I'm off and I would take you. He's like, okay, more. Okay, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that just being done at that time, like, it was just, you know, because I don't like bullies, bro. In 5th grade, that's what I used to be. And it's like, I was ashamed even doing that at the time. So I said, yo, he used to come with me, the NCO. This corporal, apparently he snitched on me about, oh, I scared him, blah, blah, blah. I said, yo, they was bullying this kid. They literally said, we don't care. He can stand up for his fucking self. If he has a problem, he can come to us. You don't fucking go to anybody and ask to fight them in the army. But he could go call this kid retarded. He could go do all this and still try to pick on him. Bro, it's bizarre, son. It is bizarre, bro. Like, I don't know what it is about the military. You swearing to be this family. That's why I never really said, yo, these people in the military not my family. Even when you get out of basic training in AIT, they are not your family. Yeah, you're going to build bonds with certain people that you really knew close, but not everybody is your family. They envy something about you. They envy something about me, Robert Moore. Yeah, that is my name for those who don't know. But they envy something really deep about me that they did not like. Oh, yeah. When they even found my YouTube channel, something that was discreet. Didn't have to tell them nothing. They were like, oh, it came to our attention. You're running YouTube. You cannot talk about us more, right? Whatever we're doing, you know, it has to be behind closed doors. You're not allowed to use your YouTube channel whatsoever. Just came, I said, who told you? It just came to our attention. So they know what I'm doing. They seed me on IMDb as soldier. So they already know who I am. The government already knows. Cool. I still try to do my job. When this is all said and done, this is just one day. The commander kept running me ragged. All in one day, starting at like 4 in the morning, asked me to do these ridiculous tasks. I don't know if it was him and the sergeant major. The whole day I'm just mad, like, you know, where's the whole company? this is the time where they're getting ready to go to Poland. I'm fed up because it's like, you know, I'm being here to ask to do this job. Where's everybody else? I'm not talking the whole day. More. Had one of these new NCOs. He came. More. I just want to talk. Blah, blah, blah. I want to go talk. Tries to talk. I'm not talking. I said, sorry. I pulled out my phone. You know, the iPhone notes. I told him exactly. I said, I don't want to talk. There's a lot going on. These dudes, I believe they was smiling behind their back, bro. Like smiling behind their back that, oh yeah, we getting to this guy. My job is finished around 8, 9 o'clock of doing what I have to do. I said, hey, Sergeant, I'm finished. My sergeant said I could go. One of these sergeants was like, hey, more. I just want to see what's going on. I ignored him, right? Going home, I'm already tired, like driving tired. That can technically still be a crime, dangerous. I go to do that. This dude follows me all the way to my house. Mind you, this is not the first time they did this. They came to my gym. They followed me multiple times, stalked me to see what I'm thinking. They even said one time when I first came to the unit, we want to figure you out. What do you mean you want to figure me out? I don't even like that. That sounds kind of suspect. Their whole time they're doing that, you know, I go inside the house. I think all the stress just came. I'm frustrated. Had this old lamp. This old lamp. This is my house. This is off base. This is away from Fort Riley. This is in Junction City. Had this old lamp. I said, you know, these people keep bothering me. Low key, I was going crazy. Because I was like, yo, why people can't just leave me alone and just let me be this happy-go-lucky kid, bro, and do what I have to do. I'm trying to just finish. I'm not trying to bother nobody or do anything or cause problems. He's knocking at my door. More, I just want to talk to you. More, I just want to talk to you. Stop knocking at my door. I warned him 3 times. I had the lamp. I tried to scare him away. This is my house. I'm not thinking anything of it. But I had this old lamp. I said, yo, get the fuck away from my door. Break the lamp. There's glass everywhere. I believe they looked through the window. They were smiling. They were happy. Because I had some of them on camera, you know. They called, More, are you okay? I'm hearing like different cop cars come through the neighborhood. I'm like, bro, I already know what they're about to do. So I'm getting ready for boxing practice at this time just to avoid the drama, the stress. They're like, More, we just want to talk to you. Coming through my window. Instead of calling my sergeant to come and talk to me, to calm me down, because that Sergeant Bonner was somebody I was cool with. That's a cool NCO. Not just because he was helping me get out of things. No, he knows that I'm not a bad guy. He didn't judge me from the minute he knew me. Right? That was like the green light of them. Like, yo, we got to this guy. Right? So when I broke the lamp, and that's why, you know, my hand is kind of bruised from the glass shattered. They kind of had a field day with that. This captain, the second time, this time he put out a warrant again for my arrest. For what? Because I destroyed a lamp in my own house. Because I wasn't talking to you. So the cop comes, all these cars from Junction City, they come. It's about 8 or 9 cop cars plus 2 MP cars. It's literally, they literally treated me like my name was Osama bin Laden. And I just got a group of people and said, hey, September, I'm giving you guys a job to do. Go fulfill your job. That's how they literally were treating me, bro. Like I was on the FBI most wanted. Knowing that I was under emotional distress. No, let's call somebody to go calm him down. He don't want to talk. It got to be a reason. I understand you care. So how about you call somebody instead of you just saying, let's send out a warrant to go get him seen. So I'm hearing another knock. Mind you, I can't go to boxing practice because my door is surrounded. So I say, you know what? Okay, I'm about to go play Madden. I'm playing Madden. I'm in the 4th quarter. I'm whipping somebody anyway, right? Hey, More. I was like, what? I'm talking to them to the window. Well, you know, I have to tell you something. We have a search warrant to do. I said, a search warrant for what, ma'am? Do you want to come inside the home? Right? She said, no, a search warrant for you. I said, a search warrant for me? What's going on? Captain Arnott has put an AWOL out. He has a warrant for your arrest to go be seen at the hospital. So they know what they're doing. They are trying to, bro, they are trying to make me get more angry to become this crazy psycho so I could do something so they can add it onto the packet. Are you getting the pattern that they're trying to do? Right? So, yeah, of course, I'm fed up because, bro, it's like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting arrested. I'm tired. Even in the military, I didn't have to deal with no arrest or nothing, bro. Like, I literally was just doing acting and being a sappy gold kid. But, nah, this captain, he did it so much. Mind you, this time they put me in handcuffs. I said, is this really necessary, bro? I'm out to just get in the car so you can escort me. No, one of the females from the Junction City police was like, no, the MP said, put your hands behind your back, put your hands behind your back. And the whole neighborhood, like, bro, I really didn't do anything, but okay. So I'm in handcuffs. I'm agitated, bro. I'm really agitated at this time because I'm like, bro, y'all making this whole scene just to speak with somebody at a hospital. So I'm mad. I'm not talking. MP's just jerking, throwing me around. Mind you, I'm holding in all that stress, everything that's being done to me, just happening, going on, from the hospital. They keep wanting me to be seen, to go to this crazy house. Like, I know I'm not crazy. It's just like, I'm getting fed up, bro. I don't know what else to do. This MP, right? He threw me on the bed at first. Then they got me up because I'm trying to, I told him, I asked the cop, I said, hey, do you mind just loosening up these cuffs? These cuffs are kind of tight. He ignored me. He said, no, your first sergeant's coming. You can fucking wait. Like, why y'all being mean if y'all here to help me, right? So, with experience, because I'll tell the truth, yeah, I've gotten out of different type of handcuffs. It is double lock and regular lock. I know how to loosen the handcuffs a little on my wrist. But point blank, I kind of loosened it up to like the middle of my palm. One of the MPs saw that, his eyes lit up. It was a fat MP, and then it was another like tall, skinny MP, taller than me, because I'm only 6'2". They got me up off the bed, bro, and slammed me into the hospital sink in the room. I don't know where I got the strength. I don't know where I got all the energy from. But, bro, out of nowhere instantly, I literally, and I did not mean to, because at the end of the day, I am a nice guy. I don't want to harm anybody. I don't want to hurt any law enforcement. But I did attack the police. I said, come on there, motherfucker. Come on. I just tackled one of them and tackled another one, right? It was kind of a scruffle. And then, a guy who I heard he loves sedating patients, like, he gets his balls hard, his dick hard, just to sedate patients. They said he has a history of doing this over and over and over again. Like, he's smiling. He was already under investigation for it. But basically, instead of calling and trying to calm me down and letting the MPs deal with it, or calling my first sergeant and commander to come talk and say, hey, more, yo, this guy just came and stabbed me with a drug that's a knockout drug, something I never had. And mind you, too, imagine being given something that you never had, something that can probably kill you or like harm your life, which it did. This dude came and he stabbed me in my back with ketamine while the MP already had my face into, the metal part of the bed. That's what I remember. I literally was like in I would say simulation for 8 hours straight. When I woke up, I'm not sure what happened. They sent you back to the 4th floor. So it's like, bro, y'all know what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to make me crazy. All of a sudden, out of all this, they say, they were like, oh, the commander is trying to gaslight me more, you're good. My roommate gets word of this, of what happened, right? He snatched the phone from me. He cursed out the guy at the hospital. They can't discreet the two voices. Long story short, more, you can't come back to Fort Riley because they claim that everyone is in fear of their life. They're claiming everyone, key word, let's say it again, everyone is in fear of their life. Everyone is in fear of their life. Everyone is in fear of their life. They're lying, right? And mind you, out of all of this, being away from Fort Riley, here's the kicker, though. They gave me an honorable discharge with unsatisfactory performance, but you have an Army Good Conduct Medal with no remarks on it. No remarks for the separation. Just says honorable discharge, A code that doesn't exist. It's a code that does not exist. RE39. That's not a real code. So this was just a honorable discharge to keep me quiet. We don't like more. We're going to get him out. Now, my message, just because the video is going too long and I'll be adding to other things, it's like, if you are coming into the Army, especially for my minority soldiers, black, Hispanic, whatever, you know, please watch out. Someone, you never know who is not going to like you just because of your color. If you feel like you are strong and you're going to stand up, they're not going to like you in general just because, as you see now, even you have to shave and you can't have anything. They don't give a fuck if you have a profile or not. Certain things, they don't want you to look a certain way from your heritage. Some things you can't control is because they want this to go back to the original way. They want their Army discipline. Even though I know sometimes it is racial, nobody's going to want to admit it because they're going to say, that's out of date. No, that's not the reason. Please be aware that this is not a place you have to be. And I'll be honest, yes, in the beginning, the military had its advantages, you know, just trying to serve your country, do the right thing, whether you helping your family, going to school, getting an opportunity to do something. Because at the end of the day, I know it was going to be good. Yes, I know I probably brag on myself, but being an actor or entertainer, that is something I'm fucking good at, bro. So they could have hate me just for that reason, but I'm still going to make it. And I do thank them for giving me certain tools, and that honorable discharge, yeah, it was a blessing. But I'm trying to tell you, beware, because the worst is happening, you know, and they're going to, trust me, they are going to put you out there other than their regular white soldiers, you know. So, and I'm not trying to say this, I got white friends, so please don't take that, but that's the way how I see it. I will be attaching these videos just so you can hear some of yourself or some of the things that I went through at Fort Riley. But like I said, I will not be making any more Army videos. And hey, if y'all keep asking me to do this story, bro, y'all gonna pay me some money. So these media sources and these people who's asking to do this shit, I want some money. But yeah, it's your boy Sgt R. I'm out of here.
Notice the events in Fort Riley, just bias and nonsense. But here you go, Stan. You are on the phone.
What do you want me to say?
I mean, can you just kind of just explain the situation of, you know, how Fort Riley, their evil
Yeah,
doings?
no doubt. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think the time that I spent living on 1819 Madison Street in Junction City, Kansas. I spent a whole year there, 10 months, roughly 9 to 10 months with Robert Moore. And I mean, even just talking about this is a little intimidating because I always have the mindset that, you know what, people in authority won't abuse their authority because they know they won't get away with it. And so I always just, then with that in mind, I might second guess myself about the abuse of authority. And then I'll consider maybe they have a good reason to do this. Maybe they have a good reason to do that. I don't know what the hell's going on. And but in the case of Fort Riley and Junction City Police, that's when I started to realize that people in authority, they abuse their authority because they think they might be able to get away with it. They're like, nah, they won't say anything. They don't even know where to complain. And I realized that they really are thinking that. Why do I realize that? Roughly October, November, sometime as I was getting ready to leave for Thanksgiving back to where I'm from, I come back and I still have a video on my phone to this day. I still have the video of Junction City Police breaking inside of my apartment that I pay to live to be comfortable. And they're just in there willy-nilly. I don't know how they opened the door, but they opened the door, and then there they are, walking in there. And the neighbors saw it, and the neighbors are like, yeah, we don't know. They just walked in there willy-nilly. I'm talking to Moore, like, yo, Moore, what the hell is this? It's like, well, it turns out that um, for some odd reason, the captain wanted to do a welfare check on Robert Moore, and somehow that gave him the authority for Junction City Police to break in and just walk in there without telling me that they were going to do that. You are violating the Fourth Amendment right. Period. In the story. You found a loophole to do that bullshit, and and completely inconsiderate of the fact that I don't care. Oh, we're doing it for a welfare check. Oh, we're doing it for your safety. Yo, that makes me uncomfortable. I literally have PTSD. I have PTSD, and here you are just breaking inside the house. I don't care who you are, because police, they shoot black people too. You know, it's so funny. Nobody's thinking about how the black man might feel. You know, it's like, oh, that's out of date. No. Justice City Police, they're racist, and I'm pretty sure Captain R not is a racist as well. He's just a closet racist. He's like one of those racist people that is really good at being passive aggressive with it. You figured out the code and the right words to use to hide just how much you aggressively hate people with dark skin. And I'm talking to police. I'm like, yo, you know what? Captain Arnett doesn't pay the bills here. This is a civilian area. This is not Fort Riley. You can't just walk into my house. You have to let me know. And you know what? They didn't say sorry. They didn't care. And as if I thought that would be the end of that. No. The amount of stress that they were putting on Moore was leaking over to the home, because I can clearly tell, yo, they're really bugging this guy. They're bugging him. And they just keep calling the police. And then you have, then you have the fucking police constantly fucking coming to the fucking door, knocking all the fucking time. Talking about, hey, we're here to check on Moore. Hey, we're in here. Yo, he's not here. Are you sure he's not here? Didn't I just fucking tell you he's not here? I don't know. I'm not up his ass like that. You know, I see him most of the night. And then when I see him, he seems fine to me. But you guys keep coming over here talking about, oh, he's suicidal. Oh, he's suicidal. And you know what's fucking amazing is, dude, what's fucking amazing is it's what is it? What year is it? 2025.
Mm-hmm.
It's now September, and guess who didn't commit suicide? Moore. He didn't commit suicide. So now, and it got to the point where it was like mind games, because now I'm second guessing myself. Maybe I don't see the sign of him being suicidal. But then I'm like, man, he's never offered to give me his video games. He's not trying to sell his car. He's just not giving away stuff for free. He's not doing none of that. And he has ambition. He's very ambitious about his acting career. But maybe I don't want to be that guy to be ignorant. So that's when I realized, yo, Captain Arnett, this dude plays head game. He's a sick fuck. You know what I'm saying? You're a sick fuck, dude. You get the authority to do stuff only so you can abuse the black people in your unit. You are sick. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the end of that. You had the police like 8 or 10 times come knocking on the door, asking for more. One time they're like, hey, Arnett wants you to come on post. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm home. I get home from the gym, and I'm here. I have to tell, son of a bitch, I have to tell the police, hey, it's not his property. I don't care. Well, we're not leaving until we bring more. First of all, there's a gap between federal and state powers. Just because Captain Arnett, just because the fucking general wants you to do something, doesn't mean that you have to do it. That's because he's a federal, that they're separate lines. So why are you guys working together to be oppressive? On top of that, Moore even said, he caught them on video laughing with each other, like smoking cigars and drinking whiskey. Finally, these black people understand that no matter what, we are always the boss. We're always in charge. Like, dude, it was insane. 8 or 10 times. I went to the hospital when Moore literally passed out because of stress. I've never seen some shit like that. Of course, I've heard of it. I know I've gotten sick because I was really stressed in college. So I know the effects that just straight up stress can do to your body. But was I amazed to actually see with my own eyes? I went to the hospital and saw that Moore was passed out because of stress. The nurse diagnosed him as having stress. Captain Arnett is off his ass. He's like, they're not saying that he's doing any drugs. Hey, y'all, even though it looks like it could be drugs, but I haven't gotten any confirmation that he's been doing drugs. Okay, Stanley, he's been really different lately. Blah, 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 blah. No, actually, no. He's in the hospital because of you, Mr. Arnett, and your fucking unit. You are literally that stressful. And now you have scientific proof that actually you are the trigger for all of the stress that he feels. And none of it went right over their heads. They don't go home and look in the mirror and do any self-reflection. It's like, man, I'm really, like, bothering this guy. No, they don't give two fucks. And it's insane. It's insane to be a witness of that because I had never seen someone pass out because of stress. It was scary. He was incoherent. He was incoherent on the phone, like, oh, I'm sorry if I upset you. I'm like, what are you talking about? That stress did that. No drugs. You don't even do drugs. The boy don't even drink. My man, of all the stress, I literally started drinking beer and experimenting on things simply because of stress. But not more and more never even, he was able to handle his stress and however ways that he was able to do it, like boxing and stuff. And even then, they try to take that away from him. They try to take, the only way for him to let out stress, I don't fucking get it. People treat their fucking dogs better than they treat humans. You know, dogs are allowed to go, oh, he's a dog. He's stressed. He's sad. But a human being is not allowed to go, oh, you stress me out. No, they're not allowed to do it. Because, dude, bro, I don't know who I'm talking to, but the mindset, from my perspective, and when I see it, these white people with so much fucking authority, it's like, those fucking niggers, we're going to put our thumbs on them. We're going to make sure. Of course, they're not going to come out and just say, I'm a fucking racist, and you're going to know it. Why would they fucking do that? You're going to sue them. No, they find these little, petty, microaggressive ways to do it. And nobody gives a fuck because unless you are black, you don't care. It's not your problem, and it's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's just something that's why we find ways to cope. And it was no. The way they treated Moore, even that affected me mentally, and it made me resolve that I'm not letting nobody treat me like that. This is bullshit. You know, you're pushing his buttons. I don't give a. It doesn't matter what your rank is. You know what? The way I see it is, if you wouldn't do it to the president, then you shouldn't do it to me. And it's like, well, you're not the president. You know, it's interesting that you say that. Because, no, I'm not the president, and yet, tell me why you wouldn't say this or say that to the president. Well, because it would be disrespectful. And then all of a sudden you realize, so why are you fucking doing it to me then?
All right, Stan, can you also explain I'm sorry to interrupt, can you also explain the court situation and also even the bullshit reason of, oh, we had to ban
and I don't even know why. I didn't commit no crime, so it makes sense that he doesn't want to go anywhere. But then they drag him out the fucking house and basically treated him like Jason Bourne. And, you know, they stabbed him with ketamine, which is a very potent knockout drug. granted, of course, he was upset that he got dragged out of his house, and I guess him and the MPs got into a scruffle. Nothing too serious, but as a result, they stabbed him with fucking ketamine. And like I said, I'm resolved. That's bullshit. Of course, the average person is gonna feel like, well, why does it bother you so much, Stan? Well, that's my roommate, and having lived with him for a time, for a period of time, I started to realize, wow, I actually have a lot in common with him. Of course, where there's differences between us, but we're both from the tri-state area. We have a similar mindset when it comes to dealing with Bush. We just have a lot of the same. So basically, it's like, well, what they're doing to him, they would do it to me because I'm not that much different from my perspective of things than him. And so it's like they pretty much did the same thing to me. So when he called them and complained to them about, hey, I'm gonna fucking sue you motherfuckers for doing that shit. Okay, that's harassment. That's harassment. I snatched the phone and I started talking to whoever the
Jeremy.
Jeremy, and I started talking to him, and I said, have you ever been stabbed with ketamine before? Okay, at this point, I'm gonna consider this harassment. Really? Because I asked you a sympathetic question, and then he's like, blah 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 blah. That's when I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't have an intelligent conversation with him, so I'll just fucking tell him to fuck off, fuck you, suck my, just saying all kinds of crazy things, and then he hangs up, and then they try to pin it on him. I went to the police station and I said it. Because I know that he can't say stuff like that because he's in the Army. I'm a civilian. I have my First Amendment right. And that is a great time to use your First Amendment right. And they're like, it was weird. I went to the MP station and I forget the police guy that I was talking to, and I said to him, "Yeah, man, I snatched the phone from him, and I was the one cussing him out. Nobody made any threats. I didn't make any threats. No one made any threats." And he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting." And I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean that's interesting?" And it's like they didn't care that I just confessed that I was the one running my mouth. He didn't even use because I guess one of the crimes, or not crime, but one of the no-nos was cursing. And after all, it is the Army. The Army has, they do weird shit like that where it's illegal to curse at somebody. And I'm like, well, oops. Either way, it was me. But they still refused to. They're like, it's like they didn't believe what I was saying. It's like I was making like a fake confession is what they thought or something. And they tried to pin it on him, and I'm like, no, it was me. I did it because it pissed me off that you did that as well. And it's the way that Robert Moore was treated in the military is a great example of subliminal racism. Subliminal racism, abuse of authority, and just everything you're not supposed to be doing, that's what they fucking did. It was weird. It was weird. And then Arnett is not even that, he doesn't even have integrity because, I was actually, at some point, I started talking to him more. Maybe he has your best interest, man. I think he is looking out for you, blah, blah, blah. And he starts talking shit behind my back. It's like, as an authoritative figure, your integrity is is very wanting. You are very wanting in integrity, and you're not very masculine. You're like, I mean, it's hard to look up to you when you're. It's hard to look up to you when you fucking gossip, because I don't do it, and you're not a respectable person. And yeah, the way they treated Moore affected my quality of life. But hey, who fucking cares? I'm just some random black dude. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Cause I'm not a man of status, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
What's up?
And finally, it's like I do thank you
A
because
way
it's
to
like I
make it
said, we
seem like, oh, big scary black guy. Yeah, he's being really aggressive. You know what that means? The potential of violence. That's how you were making it look like. And the police guys like, yeah, we're gonna. They asked for his unit information, and I'm like, I wish I'd have said something. I wish I'd have told more, bro. You don't have to give them unit information. That's not important for them to have, you know. But it just goes to show, Manhattan, Kansas in general is understood to be closet. I don't give a shit what it sounds like. They're closet racists. Closet racists. They hide that shit. They really don't like you. And where was I?
Yeah, they claim that they closed the
And
courts down.
yeah. They said that they closed the courts down. And they put a no trespass against you.
So I already had
But here's the
justice and
catch.
I paid the
But here's the
ticket.
catch. And yeah, and here's the catch though. What's interesting about all of that is if he was being so violent, well, that would be a federal crime. Or no, yeah, I think it would be a federal crime to do that at a court. But that's not what he's getting charged for. They're just saying no trespass. My point being is they're just offended that he used bad words. Because if it was violence, well, then you would be charging. You would actually give him a ticket for threatening. What there's a fucking term for it. But they didn't give him any tickets for that. They didn't give him any tickets for violence. They didn't give him any tickets for threatening. It was just trespass. You can't come here. You, and he didn't even do it in court. He was at the at, in front of the teller is where he had done it. Okay. Finally, I know where. I'm not sure I know where. Dude. Yeah, I know where I am. And of course, the army. Oh, they had a field day with that. It was just more. It was just more like blackmailing style of discipline, you know. And the thing is, the police don't have a right. They don't. You don't have to give them that information. It's like, well, we want to do that so that we can abuse you more. And that's what sucks about being in the army is apparently when you're in uniform, they're like, oh, you throw your rights away, which that's impossible. You don't throw your rights away because if that was the case, then I'm not even gonna go into that detail. But anyways, you don't throw your rights away. You're literally still a human being, and you're still born with the country. I'm the one who's gonna shoot bad guys so that you can continue to play Fortnite in your mom's basement.
Passing a PT test, I went to mostly every formation. You were there to witness. Never had a counseling.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. More 5 o'clock, no matter what. If Moore went to bed at 2 in the morning, because I'm retired. I go to the gym and I'm going late because I don't like being around people and I want to play my music. I'm coming back home 2, 3 in the morning. Moore is like, hey, what's up? Hey, I'll see you later. Gets up at 5, gets up at like 5. He gets up at 5. So no matter what, no matter if he went to bed late at night or at a good time, the boy was waking up at 5 o'clock for PT all the time. In his uniform during the appropriate time of the day all the time. PT uniform during the morning, OCBs in the evening. So it wasn't like he was prone to, and he didn't have a problem with authority. Because if he did, he would be breaking the rules. I was in the army with people who broke the rules. They knew they could get away with that. But that wasn't the case with Moore. Yeah.
So I do
Cole Riley,
appreciate it. Yeah, I do
yeah, man.
appreciate it, Stan.
Captain Arnett is a fucking prick. He's a prick with authority. And you know what? Fuck strip. They should decommission his ass and make him a private. They should not even kick him out. They should keep him in, but decommission him and pull his rank all down to private. But of course, it's like, well, it's just more. It's just more. It's not that bad. Okay, if they did it to the president, though, maybe they would do that. And that's the mindset that America's mindset. It's not just America, because I'm sure any society is like that, where status is really important, and status determines how much you can get away with breaking the rules and finding loopholes. If you're low status, you almost can't get away with anything. If you're high status, you can get away with a lot of things for a long time more. I'm a witness. I lived with him, and so I can say with great conviction and confidence that yes, it is true. They abused my friend Robert Moore.